And it's jump up. Good morning, good morning, good morning. The weekend starts here. A wet weekend starts here on Good Morning Grenada. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bless up your whole selves on this rainy Friday morning. Trust you had a restful and peaceful Thursday night. Covered down under a sheet and or blanket. Some of us still had the fan going, but nevertheless, I trust it was one that was enjoyable. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All the folks joining us on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, the GBN Production YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11 and 20. Good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7, and all of you joining us on the Party Grenada and Go To Fet Facebook pages. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for tuning in. All of you joining us across the Caribbean, whichever part of the region you are, a spicy Grenadian 473 morning to each and every one of you. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, my heart once again goes out to you. In addition to battling La Soufre, the heavy rains have caused destruction on the neighboring island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We've had flooding. I've seen footage of landslide, mudslides. I've seen houses destroyed under the weight of the ash. Now the rain compounding the problem. St. Vincent, my heart goes out to you. To all of you on St. Vincent and the Grenadines, just know that you are in our thoughts, in our prayers. Relief supplies continue to pour in on the neighboring island, and we will continue to see how best we can pull through this together. Separated by water, but we're all one Caribbean. Good morning, residents of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Vincentians near and far. Reach out to your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles, mommy, daddy, grandma, and grandpa. Reach out to a friend, no matter how distant the friend is, because they definitely need us. It was devastating seeing some of the footage yesterday coming out of St. Vincent with flood water reaching door high on vehicles. I've seen houses crumbling. I saw one lady running from a landslide just outside her front door. It was tough to see yesterday, knowing what you've been going through with La Soufre as well. Don't worry, you're on our minds, and we're going to help as best as we can. We, as in the entire Caribbean, Grenada, we send our hearts out to you. It was tough yesterday. It was tough. Don't worry. All things, it's only up from here. All things will get better. All right, where was I? Yes, St. Vincent on my mind. Okay, hailing up the international people. Good morning to all of you joining us internationally, whichever part of the world you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. Bless up your whole selves on this rainy Friday morning, at least for those of us in the Southern Caribbean. And let's get right into this morning's word of the day. This morning's word of the day is refractory. Refractory. It's spelled R-E-F-R-A-C-T-O-R-Y. Refractory is an adjective which means hard or impossible to manage, stubbornly disobedient. Refractory, which comes straight from the Latin word with the same senses. Refractorious is a derivative of refractus, the past principle of the verb which means to break, break back, or break open. A compound of the prefix re, which means again, back again, or back, and the simple verb which means to break, shatter, or smash. Refractory entered English in the second half of the 16th century, and the spelling with the T-O-R-Y first occurs in Shakespeare's Troilus and Cressida in 1602. That's the word of the day this morning, refractory. It's spelled R-E-F-R-A-C-T-O-R-Y, refractory. It is an adjective which means hard or impossible to manage, stubbornly disobedient. An example of the use of the word: he knew the game and could conquer the most refractory lion with a broom handle, not outside the cage, but inside and locked in. Another example of the use of the word: Miss Stranger spoke to her client about the refractory job. That's the word of the day this morning, R-E-F-R-A-C-T-O-R-Y, refractory. It's an adjective which means hard or impossible to manage or stubbornly disobedient. I think some people falls into that category, you know. I can think of a few people well. As you go about your rainy Friday morning, let's see what the thought of the day is. This morning's thought of the day is: Tell people what you love about them. Less criticism, more compliments. Tell people what you love about them. Less criticism, more compliments. Sometimes we take people for granted, especially the people closest to us. We take them for granted, their kindness for weakness. We don't show gratitude for whatever way they've helped us or assisted us. We don't tell them how nice they look in a dress. We don't tell them how handsome they look with a new haircut. Less criticism, more compliments. Tell people what you love about them, and I want you to do that especially this weekend. Hail up somebody. If they're not in your household, give them a little phone call, a little WhatsApp message, a little WhatsApp video call. Tell people what you love about them. Don't give them their flowers after they die. After people die, you see on their Facebook page, he was a good brethren, or I see you last week, or no, don't wait until they've passed and they can't hear the flower. They can't receive the flowers personally. Give people their flowers today while they're alive on earth. Tell people what you love about them, less criticism and more compliments. That's the thought of the day. All right, let's see what is being celebrated today. April is the final day of the 4th month of 2021, April 30th, 2021. Let's see what today is. Today it is Honesty Day. Honesty Day. Each year on April 30th, Honesty Day challenges us to be truthful in all we do. We know the different kinds of lies. We've spared someone feelings or fudged the truth just a little, or maybe told an all-out whopper. Unless we walked on water, we've all told a lie or two. This observance encourages truthfulness. Whether we're conducting business or speaking with our children, honesty goes a long way toward instilling confidence. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we do not know the answer or can't control the outcome of a situation. However, we can control our action and words, and we can speak the truth in all we do. Honesty Day today. Be truthful in everything that you do today. Everybody you speak to, no little white lies, no all-out big lies, nothing to spare somebody's feelings. Be honest today. If you're finding it hard to tell them the truth, don't say nothing at all. There's an old adage that goes, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say it at all. So if you're having problems, just don't say nothing. Just smile and wave and walk away. It is Honesty Day today. Be truthful in all that you do all the time, but especially today on Honesty Day. Let's celebrate what the day means and what it's all about, and be honest today. All right, information time. This morning, or I should say yesterday, the Royal Grenada Police Force sent out a news release advising that this morning, the members of the Grenada Union of Teachers are scheduled for a planned march this morning, and therefore the police have advised that several streets in St. George's may be closed for short periods to facilitate the activity. The march is scheduled to take place from Tantine to the National Stadium, and believe it is starting in the mid-morning, so around 10ish, around 9ish, 10ish this morning, mid-morning. So some streets in St. George's, according to where the march reaches, then they will block off the streets to ensure that we don't have more traffic jam or any accidents can take place. So keep that in mind, those of you using the city today. The teachers are scheduled for a march in the city today from Tantine to the stadium, and therefore several streets will be closed for short periods to facilitate this activity. They did not specify exactly which streets, but you can just picture the route from Tantine to stadium. I'm picturing Carnage under the tunnel maybe, or they may even go up Young Street and down the next side of the street to get to the stadium. So just be mindful of that. If you can avoid the city altogether, then you do that. And I'm saying scheduled because considering the weather, I have not seen a notice of its postponement or cancellation. So I'm saying it's still scheduled for this morning, mid-morning. If I see the notice of a cancellation, I will let you know if the march is still on. But for now, it is still on until further notice. All right. So let's get ready for the morning edition of news. For those of you on radio and those of you on our visual platforms, we bring you highlights of last evening's newscast. This is Good Morning Grenada, Classic GB and Hot 98. Coming up at 7:15 in the showroom, the big bad beast, Raymond Matthew, will be our guest later this morning. Stick and stay. Good Morning Grenada. We'll be right back.
indignant but undeterred. It's the phrase being used to categorize a planned march through the city tomorrow by teachers. Reports are that members of the teachers' union will stage another in the series of actions designed to make it known they will not be silenced. This comes less than a week after the questioning of the President Jude Bartholomew about recent protest marches. As word spread that he was asked to report to the police station in St. David, a crowd gathered in the vicinity and chanting and cheers went up as he emerged. Today, the police issued a bulletin stating that in light of a planned march by members of the Grenada Union of Teachers on Friday 30th April, several streets may be closed for short periods to facilitate this activity. The educators will make their way from Tantine to the National Stadium. The police have advised motorists that delays are anticipated between the hours of 10 in the morning and midday within the town of St. George. The march is being staged one day ahead of the annual May Day celebrations. Government announced that Saturday will be observed as the May Day holiday and not on Monday next week, as might have been anticipated in some quarters. Indications are that the trade unions are allowed 25 persons for Saturday's rally. However, reliable sources tell GBN that some union members who have not been among the selected 25 have vowed to exercise their options to attend. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has joined the Ministry of Education in expressing displeasure at Tuesday's sick-out by teachers as part of protest action for the 4% salary increase. He says their actions put the safety of the nation's children at risk. Trelawna Charles has the details.
They were told not to tell the students. In other words, let them come to school and then tell them they have to go home midday. Now, you and I know that has consequences.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, during Thursday's press conference, said the teachers' actions in initiating a sick-out on Tuesday, which resulted in students being sent home, placed the nation's children in harm's way. He criticized the Grenada Union of Teachers, who he said instructed teachers against informing parents of their plans and giving them the opportunity to make preparations for the welfare of their children.
You know the society we're in. There are pedophiles outside there. We know them. We know they have them outside there. There are people, young children, whose minds are not as developed as others, may find themselves in compromising position with the opposite sex or similar sex, whatever they are. That's a problem. When no parents' guidance are there out there, no support system, anything can happen.
The leadership of the trade union, he said, should have a sense of concern. He said the teachers should not be irresponsible with the safety of students.
I'm calling on our leadership of the trade union, teachers movement, to have a sense of fairness, concern. We don't have a problem with your wish and what you want. This is your right. And we believe most teachers are very concerned and are doing their jobs as we expect them to. But we should therefore not allow leadership to lead us in doing something that are not responsible.
Prime Minister Mitchell said the voice of the church and other leading organizations should be heard on the matter, as it is not political when it comes to the nation's children.
This call must not come from me alone. It must come from every parent. It must come from every leadership in every organization. And that's why I repeated the churches. We're not talking about 4%. We're not asking anyone to get involved in political issues. What we're talking about is the welfare of our children and the stability of our education system. And we call on persons we are ready to meet with, interested parties who have concern, and I expect all should have, to meet with them to look at how we go forward. That's the position of the government today.
While the struggle of the 4% salary increase continues, the Prime Minister said the government still does not have the money to pay at this point in time. Trelawna Charles, GBN News.
The sounds of the cowbell, drums, and horns resonating along Wall Street and Grandance are no more. The silence symbolizes an apparent settlement between the former RBTT Bank and TAU, which has been representing workers in the continued fight for certain entitlements under the collective bargaining agreement. Jared Joseph reports.
The operations at the bank have returned to normal today after nearly 2 months of workers camping outside and upping the tempo with musical instruments. The music and chanting finally faded and simmered, and workers are now back at their workstations. They started the action on the eve of the penultimate month for the changing of the ownership guard as RBC Financial Caribbean, or RBTT Bank, sold its Eastern Caribbean operations. Concerns surrounded the issue of the right of workers to exercise the option to be terminated and receive severance pay in keeping with the collective bargaining agreement. Reports are that the union and ACB Caribbean have reached a confidential settlement. On Thursday, GBN then sought a response from President Lewis after receiving reports that all workers had returned to their stations.
Well, what we will tell you at this moment is that the workers are back on the job, and customers can look forward to be served in a professional manner and having their needs met at the bank. And that's what we are prepared to say at this moment.
Okay, so there's no settlement then?
The workers are satisfied, the bank is satisfied, and we are back on the job.
When pressed further to provide details of the settlement which was reached, the TAO president told GBN that what he outlined is all he could see. Mr. Lewis was very vociferous during the strike, providing nearly daily updates. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
In other news, LIAT resumed services for Grenada from Wednesday. Due to the volcanic activity in St. Vincent, the regional airline had suspended all flights on the southern network. The eruptions at the La Soufrière volcano in St. Vincent have decreased, with very few ash emissions reported over the last week. Because of the improvement in the conditions, LIAT has decided to return to Grenada this week and to St. Vincent from next Thursday. Based on the unpredictability of the situation, passengers have been encouraged to continue to checking their emails and LIAT's website for updates. Travelers wishing to reschedule should contact LIAT's reservations call center for assistance. The airline's management say they will continue to assist in relief and evacuation efforts into St. Vincent until advised to stand down. The actual danger from the La Soufrière volcano itself has lowered at the moment in St. Vincent, but secondary hazards are emerging. Heavy rains caused mud flows on Thursday, resulting in landslides and flooding. Officials say this poses a new threat to an already overburned state. Superintendent Sylvan McIntyre continues his deployment in St. Vincent by Sedima. He joins us live to bring us up to speed on the current conditions on the island. Good night, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Well, good evening to you. A very, very pleasant good evening to your audience, listeners, followers, viewers. My pleasure always.
It's always a pleasure to have you. So what can you tell us about the current situation in St. Vincent?
St. Vincent is really a different day today. It's very overcast, it's gloomy, it's dark, and it has been raining insistently sometime around 1 to 2 a.m. this morning and has continued throughout the day. That consistent rainfall has caused land slippage, rockfall, flooding in areas. We've also had the presence of lava flow in some of the volcano-affected areas. And this has caused, as you can imagine, lots of inconvenience, loss of property, and loss of income for lots and lots of people.
Can you explain to us what is lava flows?
Oh, lava flow is the mixture of the ash with moisture that sometimes form the sludgy material that runs down the slopes. It runs into the rivers. It's actually like a sludgy mud flow that comes up the hills as a result of moisture. But it's actually the mixture of the ash deposits on the ground.
Okay, and concerns have shifted over the last few hours because of the recent rains. What are some of the new issues authorities are now faced with?
It is, as I put it earlier on today, it's like double, triple jeopardy in that the island of St. Vincent had to face an eruptive volcano, where we've seen huge boulders rolled from their places down the hills. We've seen water courses cut off. We've seen persons' houses inundated to a large extent. And now they have to deal with landslides, floods, etc. It is and has become quite a bit more frustrating. It has become a challenge for the government, for the response and relief agencies, as some of our activities has been hampered to a large extent, and it has slowed the relief process. Like most of the Caribbean islands, when nations are exhibiting a sense of business, it's slow, but people are exhibiting patience under most circumstances. But overall, the concern for safety is of great concern, obviously, to the authority.
Speaking of concerns for safety, any reports of casualties or further damage to property?
So far, we have been putting together the damage assessment, and that's very preliminary. The teams went out on the ground and they have not found any injury or death related to the landslide or the floods per se. And we hope that it remains that way, since we have not been able to access all areas. The entire island was not experiencing the flooding and the raining condition earlier in the day. But as it becomes later into the afternoon, we are seeing the leeward, or the what is called the other side of the island, the leeward, which is the western side of the island. They are now beginning to experience some form of rain this afternoon. So the windward side, which is the eastern end of the island, did experience considerable amount of rain, and it led to the overflowing of rivers. Yesterday, we were in that area, and bridges that we saw that were intact, they were destroyed. Parts of them were moved away today. So it's really, really something else. People are appealing for places to sleep tonight. They're asking for mattresses and some level of comfort. Obviously, food and water would be aspect of the essence. But as we unfold into this triple crisis, the needs still continue for mainly sleeping material, and people will need to be fed for a considerable amount of time. Water, as you can imagine, is almost back to its full capacity. And now that we have the rain, it's another issue. Water is likely to be back, but because the catchment areas, the turbidity of it could be of some concern, then again, valve regulation is something that would have to be undertaken to ensure that the people they are served with proper potable water for the daily routine.
It really is a lot to process. At this time, I would just like to thank you for bringing us yet again another update on the neighboring island. Thank you, Mr. McIntyre, and good night.
You're very welcome, and good night yourself and the rest of your team.
Diabetes is one of many chronic diseases affecting young as well as older individuals. On Thursday, the Grenada Diabetic Association, in collaboration with Grenada Association for Retired People, teamed up to put on a health fair geared towards raising awareness on the disease.
Diabetes is a chronic disease that occurs when the body is unable to use blood sugar or glucose properly. The exact cause of this malfunction is unknown, but genetic and environmental factors play a part. Risk factors for diabetes include obesity and high levels of cholesterol. Both type 1 and type 2 diabetes can be inherited. This means a group of genes that can lead to type 2 is passed down from mothers and fathers to their children. Not everyone who inherits the genes will develop it, but if you have the genes for type 2 diabetes, you've got a greater chance of developing the disease. A few persons braved the weather on Thursday to get their health checks and other services as a health fair was put on by the Grenada Diabetics Association and the Grenada Association for Retired People. Lisa Sylvester McQuilkin, a member of the Diabetic Association, identified some of the services persons were exposed to.
We are doing free blood glucose testing, blood pressure testing. We're doing education. We just finished at a presentation on foot care. Right now we have a presentation on hypertension and diabetes. But because of the inclement weather, we having not much persons here in attendance. But so far, we're doing our education. We're doing our finger stick testing, and people are knowing the numbers, and people are being referred to as well.
Students of the T.A. Marisho Community College Pharmacy program were also part of the health fair, getting a first-hand experience in the field with patients.
I have here final year students in pharmacy, the associate degree in pharmacy. They should be graduating this year, and they are here basically to assist persons to understand what the medication is. They could have one-on-one consultation and to guide them in terms of the various chronic disease that they may have and how drugs are used to manage it. Hopefully to let them understand why they need to take them. In addition, they're assisting with the screening and so forth.
That was Evelyn Davis, Public Relations Officer of the Grenada Diabetics Association. Christelina John, GBN News.
That was GBN Health, which came to you compliments Gittins Healthcare.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Brentwood, and Central Deputy Street, Guelph. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
A dozen pastors were down on their hands and knees this morning as they picked up bags of trash and erected signs at Fort George. This comes as the ministers give back to their country in their own way. More in this Rena Pierre Thomas report.
12 pastors from the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists left their jackets and ties at home and got their hands dirty as they embarked on a cleaning initiative on Thursday. Each year, the group of pastors, as part of the Ministerial Association, will engage in a project called Community Impact. This year, the pastors chose to clean up the Fort George area close to the General Hospital. Ministerial Secretary at the Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Enoch Isaac, says they want to make a positive impact on the community.
We've decided to do a cleanup of this area and erect signs. Why this area? Actually, one day I was walking on my way to the hospital ministry and I noticed the level of garbage that is left all around this area. And I said, that's unsightly. Not too far away from the hospital, which is a health institution. And I said, why don't the government clean this? And then I said to myself, but the government, who's the government? Someone has to do it. And I thought of our association. And immediately I spoke to my colleague, Pastor Edward Guillaume, who is the Health Ministry's Secretary of our conference. I said, we need to collaborate to do this initiative here. To clean this area, because someone has to do it.
Isaac says that as pastors, their work is about teaching the gospel in unique ways.
And we've decided as ministers, yes, we preach the gospel, but we also realize the old adage, cleanliness is next to godliness. Yes, so while we preach, we also recognize that we are supposed to be cleaning, and we are supposed to, for a healthy nation, a wealthy nation has to be a healthy nation. So we've decided to adopt this project and clean all of the foliage. There's lots of garbage there, and also erect the signs. But we have the signs in collaboration with the ministry, had permission from the Ministry of Health to erect the signs and also to clean the area. We have 4 signs, one of which says no dumping, and that one which talks about, which indicates that we shouldn't we should use bins.
The pastors are encouraging persons who are using the area to take measures to keep the area litter-free. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear Thomas.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Trillana Charles has been looking around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. The public workers' fight for the 4% salary increase, which was not received from government, has seen many forms of protest, from demonstrations to a recent sick-out by teachers. The RGPF and the Ministry of Education have expressed their displeasure at the actions of public workers. Tonight, we listen to the opinions of our online and listening audience as they discuss whether the responses from authority are intimidating, fueling the fire, or lacking in effectiveness.
Facebook, somebody on Facebook says, fueling the fire, I find, because government firing back. So we in a tug of war. I'll suggest the government makes the payment, but in a sectional way. Our health officers, nurses, doctors, etc. worked frontline during the heat of the COVID-19 pandemic, while all other public workers were safely at home. Pay them first and make plans to pay out the rest of the public sector afterwards, but pay them because our children continue to suffer.
I think taking everything into consideration from way back when, from the 84 situation back, I think it is intimidating and fueling the fire. There's better ways to solve that problem.
It is fueling the fire and boosting up the momentum for the struggle.
Intimidating and fueling the fire, and it is about time the only people who can bring this thing to an end, bring it to an end in the proper way.
Government moving soft. It's time to put the hammer down and get the teachers back to teaching the children properly.
Yeah, I think it is fueling the fire, and so I think the government has to do something better than that to solve the problem.
This is unacceptable, and the government cannot bow, and the masses have to understand that what is being portrayed by this union is unacceptable, and I come to the conclusion that the union is hijacked by some political activists because not all the teachers is on board with the decision.
I think finally the message is reaching those who be and should continue with more protest and more sick-out. Calling down the head of the union for questioning should be a motivation to continue the struggle for that 4%, because in that administration, the majority of them were teachers in the past and should encourage the Prime Minister to pay the 4%. Also on May Day, the rally should be in front of Prime Minister and Minister of Education homes. Sometimes you have to take it to them.
I am in support of the workers, the teachers, and all the productive sectors who are suffering under this private sector mindset administration.
That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. If you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
From the thought process to the visual impact, it's time to take a peek through the GBN ISA lens. Our ISA reporter submitted photographs of the water coming through their tap in St. Paul's. Over the years, St. Paul's residents have been known to be some of the most affected by issues with their water system, especially during the dry season. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Bruv. Hello? I can't see you.
What's good?
But I can't even hear you.
Yo.
Hello? Hello? Ah.
Okay, I see you. I'm good. I'm coming in.
Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicel's super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicel.
You guessed right, it's detox time again at Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product detox combo pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
We are taking pride in outstanding performance. We are encouraging and recognizing innovation. We are committed to continuously doing things better, with enhanced services coming soon. Yes, we are here for you. Check us out today for your financial need. GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand-name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again at Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product detox combo pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Kindly greasy pole, and we don't dance round the maypole.
Boys calls, old people, they always have an explanation for all kind of things. You know, like if you is ringing, they go tell you it's somebody who calling your name or talking about you.
True. And if you right and scratch you
have to pay your money.
And you're left.
Well, you go get the money.
You're right.
Definitely.
Forget about that. How about that kind of receiver? What do you hear?
I hear some kind of thing. Well, Susan pinched me a little something. She said, Doc, say, don't mind if he dreaming about fish. But he worried.
Why?
Because he say every time he go to put something in his mouth, he falling out. But I don't understand. When you put things in my mouth, what that mean?
So you don't know what that mean then?
Well, I don't know.
Well, doctor, right to worry?
Well, why you had to worry?
Look at 649, boy.
649?
That's what they say.
Well, we had to ask Reese the question on Week Culture this Friday. Because I'm concerned about my partner. He was happy all along, but since things start fall out of his mouth, he worried.
Poor Doc.
But
I'm sorry for that, you know.
You in a bad way, no?
That in a bad way.
Bad way.
Bad business, bad.
You know they say small dogs just go down big tree.
Who is this small dogs?
Well, you see. Friday on Week Culture, we will tell you all about it. Be sure to join us.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Greetings everyone. I hope this message meets you and yours in the best of health as we join in encouraging all to act responsibly.
COVID-19 presents the most serious
and deadly challenge any of us will experience in our lifetimes.
We must act now.
We need to keep the Caribbean safe.
We can all help to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Please stay at home. So Caribbean people, please stay home.
Caribbean people, please stay at home.
Please stay home. It's that simple. This too shall pass, but for now, stay home.
Stay in your yard. Stay home, stay safe.
Sakitan Palelot, who here tell the others it's time for the showroom where we feature our local talent. And this morning, I have a big bad Bajan in the showroom this morning. I tell him I'll behave. I'm trying. I swear I'm trying. The big bad Raymond Matthew Beast is our guest this morning. Morning, Beast. Wagga, brethren.
Pleasant good morning to you, Blossom, and to all your listeners and viewers.
You're looking well, man.
Morning.
Is that really morning?
I'm trying.
That look like sunshine over your shoulder, man. What is that? Hey.
No, it's raining on my side.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so don't be distracted by the sunshine. Fair enough. Beast, it is a pleasure to have you, a veteran Calypsonian, a son of the soil, a Grenadian, full of lyrics. Welcome. So happy to have you this morning. We're going to talk about your career in the business.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me this morning.
It's a pleasure. Let's go back to the beginning of Beast. How long ago did Beast start in the business, and how you come up with the name Beast as well? That's a story I don't know. So take me back to the beginning of your career.
All right. I started singing. Well, first of all, let me let you know that I'm a musician, accomplished musician. My main instrument is the keyboard. I play keyboard and piano. I do a little bass guitar, and I was a member of the Royal Grenada Police Force Band for 15 years. Remember me as on parade, you remember me as the bass drummer, and also I became the mace man, which I've given up now, and I'm no longer with the band. After playing for so much Calypsonians, I started to get the vibes of Calypso. However, it started in the Police Week, had the competition, and I decided that everybody was saying or singing nice things in a nice way. I decided that I'm going to be critical in a positive way. I want to be the type of Calypsonian that's going to point out the little wrongdoings, the little misbehavior. I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack in a positive way. So in 1993, I made a dash for the thing, you know what I mean? And I was successful. I won that competition. As a matter of fact, I got a lot of support. My first song I did was Police Week. Police Week and Hit Me. There was a situation where police officers were being attacked by civilians. At the time, we had a commissioner that people was fearful of him maybe losing their job and stuff, so we were not, defending ourselves and stuff. So Police Week, they wanted you to sing on the topic Police Week, WWEK. So I wrote Police Week, WEAK. And, I put a twist to it. So that was well accepted. And I won the crown. Then I came back in 94, and based on the treatment as the Calypso monarch, the kind of treatment I got as to what the Queen got. You know, the Queen, they always taking care of the Queen. Mm-hmm. But the King does have to search for the little taking care of. So I lash out another one again, and 3 years in a row I won. And Randy Isaac, I must give my hats to him. Randy Isaac said to me once, boy, the only day you could stay and make that stupidness, you know. you could stay and beat up them fellas in police. Come on the big stage and let me mash you up, you know. So I say, all right. And the whole consensus around the country is that beast can't sing. I was talking, and I accept that. At the time I couldn't sing, I was talking. And that helped me to improve myself and say, boy, you have to sing if you have to go and meet fellas like Jamu, Scholar, and Weezer. But one thing I know is that, and I always work with that method, that God don't give everybody the same thing or the same amount. And in Calypso, the fellas that could sing, they can't write. I could be very blunt. Those that can't sing, that could write. I'm going to ask you, Andy. Yeah, the sweetest voice around, but when it comes to lyrics, they go to battle with the fellas that don't have the voice. Right, now, I don't want fellas to take that personal, but...
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Right, so and I came in 1994. I went into the national competition. Randy again interfered me the night of the match and tell me, boy, the judges know what they're doing, you know. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, For years I've been coming last, so they bring a man tonight to take the last. So last time, again, I had to tip my hat off to Randy. That boosted me, that gave me a boost tonight. And I said, Randy, let me tell you something. I know I can't win here tonight, but I don't intend to come last, and I don't intend for you to beat me. And last time when they gave all the results, I remember it was Troy Garvey and Senator, giving all the results, and they said in 10th position with 371 points, Randy Isaac. And I ran out of Queen's Park. The car was parked in Queen's Park, and I forgot the car was inside it, and I ran up because I was so happy, like I wanted that year. And I continued to come in, and at the same time, Scholar would have came in on the scene around the same time, same year. So we were the two persons doing those type of lyrical songs. Smokey and those guys was going out. Flying Turkey and those guys was going out. And I stayed off in 95 and prepared because I said, the feelings in the Masga is kind of good. But in order to rub shoulders with the big guys, you have to come prepared. You have to study them. And I choose to study the style and the stuff. And I realized, I could push myself between the Ajamu, the Wizard. These are heavy guys. And I came back in 96. And I mean, that was a great year for me when I did Who Vex and Die for My Country. I came second. I sang second and I came second. So I realized, from there on, it's time to go. If I could reach there, then I could win. And since then, I've been coming seconds and third, and then 98 and 99, I won the Monarch back to back, and here I am still.
And you realize you have it.
The name Beast, I got when I was in school. I attended the St. John's Christian Secondary School. I played piano at school for devotions and stuff, and I was a keen follower of the revolution. I wanted to sing as Morris. I wanted to be a Morris. I loved the revolution, and I got the name Political Beast. And when I came into the police force, those guys take all the political and they leave Beast.
Oh, okay.
And I work with that name and I live up with that name, and I will continue living with that name until I expire, because it has done a lot for me in Calypso, on the job. I'm a tough guy. I was built that way. A lot of people think the name come because of the looks.
But it's not the looks.
I always say, I don't good looking, but I just look good.
I agree.
I try my best to do that. But the name is not because of the looks. It's more because of the mind and the ability to be tough.
Well, you see, it's a good thing I asked. Look, I learned something this morning. I learned. Bring the phone a little bit down. Take out some of the roof on top of your head. Let me see more of the face. There we go.
Okay.
The year that... I want to see what?
You want to see the good looking thing?
Yes, I want to see the good looking. The year that you entered and Randy came last, how much you came?
I came 9th.
Oh, well, you see, okay. All right, well, the thing work out, man.
So I think I won that night because I beat you at.
I find I like the mindset. You mentioned coming on scenes the same time as Scholar, and when you hear Beast, you hear Scholar's name. You hear Scholar, you hear Beast's name, and they go together. How much has that camaraderie and that friendship, the competitiveness between you, how much has it helped your career as a Calypsonian?
Wow, I must say it has propelled me in the upward and right direction for years. I remember the first time I met Scholar, he came, I think he came to do a song at the police band. He was looking for an arranger. And when he came to the police band, he met me. and I introduced him to Brian Huss, who was the sergeant. And for years, Brian been writing our music because we tell him what we want and how we want it, and he writes the music. And I think he was taking part in some competition. It wasn't a national competition. I can't remember if it was Independence or something, but he came along the same year, I think 93 or somewhere around there, and that's when we met. And then when when I first went into the national competition, there was this kind of rivalry between Wizard and Jamu, Specky and those guys. Those guys would have killed for that crown. I mean, not physically, but those guys were serious about this thing. Guys was not shaking hands and stuff the masquerade night, you know. Who was talking about Obia and who was talking about this. It was about winning and winning at any cost. Scarla and I, we had that level of friendship. And I don't know if you remember, we were in competition and we were on stage doing props for each other. We were the first two Calypsonians that ever did that. That never even happened in Trinidad. And Scarla and I were on stage. Specky, we brought along Specky also. And so, but Scarla and I were the first two persons in competition on a night. And we were supporting each other and stuff. And then we had something backstage. When Scarla was about to go on his time, I will be there. I'm supporting him, rubbing his head. It's a mental thing, it's a mental thing. And people wouldn't know it, but there's a little butterfly that has come on you just before you go on. Man, if you don't have your belly, you ain't going on stage when they call you. You understand? Especially when you're young in the business and you just come there, they call you, but your foot don't want to take you on stage. So you need that, and I must say, I must tip my hats off to my wife. She does a great job. Trisha Thomas, these people will come and give me a push. Scarla will come and give me a hug, give me a bounce and say, hey, go do it. And then we had this mentality that, boy, if you win, I win. But if you come first, or if I realize you're leading in the battle, I should be right behind the back. So that's why you see most times Scarla come first, I come second. Scarla comes second, I come first. And we beat each other maybe by 5 points or 10 points and stuff. The last competition, I came second, Scarla came third. And trust me, Jamu was one of our biggest threats. Kingman has a following. And Scarla and I, before we came in the competitions, Kingman was the man that used to be doing Pikang and the other guys. Damaging Wizard, damage Squeezy, make Squeezy sing out that key and all kind of stuff, you understand? So when we came on the scene, we decide what we go play in the same game. It's just as politics, it's just as politics. You have to know what you're doing to win the judges, win the crowd and stuff. So we were able to team up against Jamu on many occasions. Give him a little pinch here, give him a little, put the airs here and stuff. And the good thing about it, sometimes we get into competition and we go hit you online to distract you. Yeah, and a lot of fellas get caught with that. A lot of fellas supposed to win and they get caught in that. Yeah, please go there, they call me name and stuff. And before they know it, Scarla give them a jam in the back. And another thing is, we used to pray for certain positions.
To come after people or before?
Oh yes, according, if you get Jamu in the center, I mean, I could say that now because it don't matter, I get old in the thing, you know what I mean? According to where you fall in the mix, you're in trouble. Nobody wants to sing after this. in a competition. Maybe scholar. Nobody wants to sing after scholar in a competition because anything could happen. You understand? So we used to have our plans the night of the day of the masquerade. I will call him, he will call me. Say, what you doing, boy? I say, all right, I'm touching that. But he say, I'm touching that too, but this is the way I'm touching it. This is the way I go deal with it and stuff. And that's how our friendship grew and we became two of a kind. Beast and Scholar. Another piece of history that was created by me in terms, I'm the only one that sang in a competition #1 and came first. That ain't easy to do. You have to try hard. You have to work very, very hard to do that. So, fellas also want to sing first.
But
I'm not singing first because
don't mind.
I set in the
You set the stage.
I set in the stage and I'm going high.
Mm-hmm.
So who come in after try and go? But I kind of vex now because the pandemic thing and I have some songs waiting. I want to tear up the place.
That's what I got to ask.
And I find it's time the money go up.
The prize money?
Yes, man. Like I think I should do that now. Maybe I could help other people. If I win a little thing, I could help the poor and needy people, Let me bring it up.
Okay, hopefully the SMC and government listening.
Yes, they're listening, man. Because they think to about $1 million.
What?
I know fellas go on to kill for it, but...
Why? We are people in Calypso.
They got to try to kill me as Scholar.
Well, Beast, you stayed away from Calypso for maybe about a decade, and then you returned in 2019. First of all, why did you stay away for so long, and what made you come back?
First of all, let me start with the last part of the question. I came back because of pressure from people. I don't have it easy. The only problem with me and Calypso, and also policing, it's a good, but it's a bad thing. I don't get a chance from the public. Somebody else has something to tell me. Somebody else wants me to sing on that issue. B says something for us here, and the job of the Calypsonian is not to interfere with people, to have anything personal against politicians or individuals, but we are there to voice the concern of the people, right? I am not political. I don't really care who run the country. As the country is run properly and stuff, let the best person run the country. Who the people decide is the best person. That's my opinion. But if you do something or you're doing things that are affecting the people, I go sing about it. I'm a Calypsonian. Calypso started, as we know, way back at the plantation. And it started by the slaves. And consider me to be a slave on this plantation here. I would not sing songs for master to dance. I could be one of the slaves that burning down plantations. I could be one of the slaves when you're beating the other slave, I could stand up and say, no, don't do that, or hit him. Figuratively speaking, you understand what I'm saying?
I understand it, yeah.
So, same thing with policing. I tell when I finish work, I don't go out and party and stuff because I can't enjoy myself. No man, they want to fight. Come and tell that man behave himself. I mean, that's my job. But I mean, sometimes you need to socialize a little. You let off and leave the work home or leave it in the station. But because I go with the work. You understand? I'm driving on the road. I have to deal with our friends and stuff. Not to say I don't want to do it. I have to do it. But I'm just showing you. So I decided to stay away and work on the career, policing career, because preparing for Calypso and stuff takes a lot from you sometimes, and sometimes you step on so many people that they want to step back on you. So I decided to step aside, let the younger bloods come up, and I must say, since I've stepped aside, I only saw one person emerging. That was Baraka. I'm talking about in the line of my Calypso. People like Valin came along and stuff, but on my line of Calypso, sending the strong message, Baraka is the only one that would have stepped forward. And people been pressuring me, man. The thing ain't nice without you. You're missing and stuff. So I decided, okay, well, I go. And then I was kind of frightened that if I stay away too long, Scholar wanted a rest. And I stayed away, and happily for him, he won 9 congs. He won a couple of congs after I left, and hats off to him also. And I decided, let me come back and give the thing make a run for the money again and see what I could do. But what is surprising is that I stayed away and I come back and everybody doing as though it's me. When I say everybody, all the Calypsonians in the competition want to beat me. Scholar was the defending monarch. They don't want to beat him, they want to beat me. And I ain't too happy about that. So, and to be honest, you won't believe me, the last competition, I only had one song. I just did the album just for kicks. I went in the Mother's Day show and I just do that, and that was the biggest mistake I made, although it paid off. No, you have to come with what, because I write serious songs with humor. I'm a very humorous person. I like to make people laugh. Even though I have to say something about you in song, I'm going to say it in a way that even you're going to be vexed, but you will laugh. So that's how I did the album, and then when the pressure take me, I had to run back and do another song, and unfortunately, unfortunately, I made it to the March Grand and came second.
It paid off. It definitely paid off.
Yes.
You have when you hear the name Beast, you know somebody going and get some lyrical blows and they're getting it hard. Does it come natural for you to creatively write your songs? Because you're telling people what you have to tell them, but it's not like you're hurting feelings. You understand what I'm saying? You're able to hit them with the lyrics and hit them and tell them what they're doing, but you're doing it in a way where they can't really take offense. And how is it that you are able to do that while still being a member of the RGPM? Because government, the prime ministers, they've gotten licks while you're an officer. How you are able to do that without fear and favor?
What I love about this whole business is that when I started to sing Calypso, the prime minister was in opposition. So he would have loved me then. Although he still liked me, I wouldn't say he loved me still, but he liked me. I had a chat with the Prime Minister once, and I told him I remember saying to him, I think I want to stay away from Calypso, That was a while back. And he told me, no man, sing a song, that you have a gift, go ahead and sing, But people, and this is expected, people will take it in all different ways. There are people who bad for the Prime Minister, there are people who bad for the opposition and stuff, and there are people, they don't even know what they're bad for. So anything you touch, they will be upset and stuff. So I try my best to do what I have to do in the song, and they have to understand that this is the cultural part of me. This is the cultural part of me. This is something that Papa God, when he making me, he mixed that part of me. He didn't give you that part. You understand? He gave you the part to do what you're doing there. And he don't give all of us the same talent, as I've already said. You understand? So he gave me the part where I could, and I could go on stage, and I've never extempored like in an extempo competition, but the scholar also have that ability that we could go there and we could forget a line. And let me tell you something. You don't know nobody else forget the calypso on stage as me. I will tell you that no, I just forget a whole verse. Sometimes the band playing the band chorus, and it's time for me to come back and I forget the verse. I forget which verse to start. And and right away I can't afford to come last. I can't afford to lose badly. I could lose, but maybe by coming second or third. But I can't afford for them to boo me on the stage or run me off the stage. So I had to come up with something. And sometimes I just do it, I just wonder, what the hell what I do? Will I go back and I watch? And I say, why you say, well, that don't need song? I say, girl, if you do a boss, forget the song, somebody distract me. Somebody distract me, And if you realize I don't take part in independence competition, I did that once, and our scholar did say to me, "Boy, don't go there and sing that. Don't go." I wrote one nice little song, one patriotic nice little song. And I went in Simmons. I was down, I was in the race, and I tell myself I win. Because melody is sweet, musical background accompaniment right there. And once I was singing, on the stage, a lady came and she pulled my pants foot. And she looked up at me. And I had already sang the first verse and chorus, and the band with the introduction there. And she asked me, "Miss, are you singing there?" And Blossom, since when it was, and that just threw me off. I come about fourth. And I never go back in a independence competition because people don't want me to sing. They like the Melee,
they like them exactly.
They like the TV. They want to hear me call the Prime Minister name. And I said, no, this is independence. Let me sing something nice. I ain't going back in that. No, I'm not going back.
But
they don't want that.
I have two comments on Facebook. Let me see if we could quickly get to that because we need to talk about Scaramouche. Darius says he remembered in 2000 after singing his first song and going backstage, he saw you almost crying knowing that he had outperformed you in the first round of competition and your wife had to wipe your face with a rag and he had to console you. Do you remember that?
No, man. Darius don't understand the difference. Maybe with an ugly face and a cry. I don't cry for that. I don't cry for that. If I get licks, I get licks. You understand? In 2000, yes, Darius won. I came second. And stuff. No, I wasn't crying. Maybe I was upset about something, but I ain't crying for that.
What try you bust the man bubble? Just so the man might be thinking he bring it to tears and you bust the bubble.
He think he make me cry, eh?
What try you grass?
Tell him I say come back.
Darius, you hear that? An invitation from Breeze, come back in competition, and let me see how the blows go share this time.
Yeah.
Somebody else on Facebook is asking, what was your biggest challenge on stage? What was your biggest challenge in your career?
Boy, the biggest challenge, who or what?
They just say what?
Well, I think my biggest challenge was coming up against, I think I was in 1996. I had to come up. I would have stayed off in 1995 because, as I said, I came into national competition in 94, stayed off in 95, got myself prepared, and had to come up against people like Scott Finley, Scholar, Wizard, Jamu, Smokey, Randy Isaac, Squeezy. I was a newcomer in the midst. I was the donkey in the horse race or whatever. And to come up against these guys in a competition, you know you had to come good. And I think that was my biggest, that night was the biggest fear for me. Butterflies was all over me. But once I got started in the first round, I did die for my country, and that went on pretty well. I realized I was in the race among the top 4 guys. And when you're in the top 4, when you think you're in the top 4, you start to look at the money. The crown is just a piece of cardboard. That doesn't bother me. I started to look at the money. You understand? So that was the biggest challenge, the biggest that night, because coming up against the top notch in the competition or that year would have put some fright in me.
I was, if not last week, week before, you did a post on your social media on Facebook after you visited a former Calypso monarch, Scaramouche. Quickly tell us what's the situation, because look how we're almost out of time, but tell us about the situation with Scaramouche and how can we help him?
Well, Scara, as I said, I received a call that, and to be very honest with you, I didn't realize Scar was still alive. I did not see him for a while, and then with the whole pandemic situation, we lose a lot of people, and we don't even know who is. When you ask for people now, you realize they're not around and stuff, because we don't get to go to funerals the way we used to do it and stuff. And I got a call from former ACP Trevor Modest saying to me, man, you all come and look for Scar? So I say, which Scar? He says, Scaramouche. I said, no man, Scaramouche dead. He said, well, you're talking shupunis because I did right by Scaramouche here. No, look at him lie down here and stuff. So I say, all right. I called Scholar. I say, Scholar, boy, I just get a call that Scar is sick and we need to go and look for him. He said, boy, you're talking shupunis, Scar dead already. I said, well, no, the person that tell me that is by him and is serious and stuff. I got on the phone, I called Specky in New York. Specky told me, no, Scar dead. I called Jamu. And he said I called all them monarchs first. Jamu tell me, show Scar dead. Anyhow, a couple of days after, I went up to look for him, and I was taken aback. The Scar was lying bedridden, and he started to cry. And I cried too. we shouldn't treat our people so. He said he was hungry. Nobody looked out for him. Nobody. A nurse come to check him. A doctor comes to see him maybe once or twice a week. Once a week. But what hurt me is that he said he was hungry. And he does be hungry. And when he lay out the amount of things he did for Grenada, you know, it hurts. Scar was a man that we would dress up, have him on Grenada's beach. Well, I mean, he was making $1. Granny Tang Lake, the falls, singing, welcoming tourists. Right, and he's done now. He doesn't get anything, whether from government or maybe friends will give him something and stuff. And Scar can't even get up from his bed. So I took up the fight, called a couple of guys, and a couple of people made pledges. I could mention that I got some assistance from SEDU, that's St. Andrew's Development Organization. Akeda Ventu immediately reached out. We got Pampers, pull-ups, ensure that the drink ensure. Another couple of organizations like the Grenada Disabled Organization, they gave me a chair for him and stuff. Well, I've already given him those stuff. Someone from Canada, Lydia James, would have sent some cash to buy him some stuff and things like that. But it touches me because I'm a monarch too, and we don't know what is going to happen down the road. Not all of us prepare for tomorrow, or we were able to prepare for tomorrow. Hardship comes around. But as a cultural ambassador, this guy went to Holland to sing for Grenada. He's in 1970 Calypso Monarch. Also, Dexter Mitchell gave me some stuff for him. I met with the Minister of Culture, and she also went to visit him together with the chairman or the chairperson of Spice Mass. And they made some promises to him that because he's in the house, he don't get to go out and stuff. So she promised she's going to get him a wheelchair. And she's looking at presently at getting some assistance from government for him. But my thing is that we need to look out for our people more, our cultural ambassadors. And my thing is that Scar would not have sung the kind of song that I sing. So could you imagine if I get bedridden, what will happen to me? If we treat Scar also? You understand? So, and I think it's time that the Calypsonians and all cultural icons, all artists, it's time that we come together and start to look out for each other. The Ministry of Culture should play a bigger role looking out for our cultural icons. Not because we ain't singing soca and a soca artist could go in Trinidad and win or thing, and this is not about Mr. Killer or anybody, but I'm just showing you how the thing is not, yes, it's not parallel. Let's look out for everybody. Carnival is a big thing in Grenada, and everybody contribute. Everybody contribute in some form. And the art form shouldn't be only about the Calypso monarch or the soca monarch or the other competition they have. We should have a bigger thing than that. We should have artists should be given a chance to be recognized on a bigger stage. We should have an award ceremony after Carnival and award the best social commentary, the best humorist, the best dancer in this area, the best arranger, musical. We don't even study our musicians. Oh, they say, the Royal Grenada Police Force band, the best band in the land. When these guys retire and they reach 60 and they start to go downhill, what are they showing the children? You was the best trumpeter. Why you have to show? You didn't have a trumpet on your own. Let us start to recognize the people that make the thing happen. The best band man, the best band leader. Let's make the thing big now, man. And let's look out for these guys. We are the only people that don't get that stimulus package. Artists. It's hard for us too, because they can't make a dollar. So let's just be singing in hotels. So let's just be performing here and performing there, traveling here, traveling there, and stuff. So I mean, but we need to look out for ourselves. First and foremost, we need to come together. We need to come together and get this thing going. This thing is not about being political and who you support or who you like and who you don't like and stuff. This is something that God would have given us an ability to perform, to sing, to dance, to write. Let's look out for these people. So, as I say, persons, I'm getting little assistance. I spoke to Junior Judge. He's doing what he could do, and Specky's doing some stuff in New York, trying to get persons together like Val Adams and stuff, and see what we could do and stuff. I go to visit him every week. So I'm trying to get some Calypsonians so that maybe a few of us could go look for him together, sing with him, make some music, make him feel wanted, and make him feel that it's important. One of the things he's saying is that Grenada forgot him. And indeed we forgot him. And I'm not blaming or bashing anybody for not remembering or not thinking that he's still alive or that he's dead or whatsoever. What I'm saying is now is the time for us to pick up the pieces and let's mend this thing and get going and look out for one another. It's time that we look out for, not only in this art form, in Scar in this art form, nurses, police, friends, neighbors. Let's look out. You see a neighbor for a couple of days. Look out. Let's be our brother's keeper, our neighbor's keeper, and stuff. And the part where the Bible says, "Love thy neighbor as thyself." I don't want to take it wrong. I love myself, but I will always look out for my neighbor.
You're getting a lot of kudos on the social media. A lot of people say congrats and thank you for what you're doing. Darius says he would get in contact with you so y'all can continue to help Scaramouche as best as possible. Beast, we're over time, but I have to ask, what's next for you? I know you have a Mother's Day concert coming up. Next week, please, a lot.
Right. Masters Promotion. That's the guys that do that Mother's Day show every year. Well, because of the pandemic that has scaled down. They'll be having a Mother's Day show at Spice Basket on the 9th of May. That's Mother's Day. Well, as you know, it's limited in terms of the amount of persons that could attend. I can't tell you the price. I doesn't interfere with price.
That's okay.
But all the protocols will be in effect. Myself, Scholar, Squeezy, Valin, and I understand Smokey will be there. So we have a nice little cast. We want persons to come out. As I say, the flyers and the announcements should be out. So listen for it. But and we will be backed by the Heatwave band. This is one of the better bands coming from within the police band and others. So good music. Come out, let's have a good time. Don't expect nothing new from me, nothing new in that. So I'm holding back everything
for next competition.
Until boss say,
go ahead.
Go ahead, we go do the thing because I want to come out fresh.
And hit them with it.
Yes.
Somebody asking, do you have a favorite song?
Die for my country.
Okay.
Sacrifice. Who vex. Let me 3 favorite songs.
Okay. All right. Well, you see, look, you can name them off the top of your head. I believe you.
Yes.
Beast, thank you so very, very much for being our guest this morning. This was an enlightening conversation. Appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing. Hit them with the lyrics and continue doing what you're doing for Scaramouche. Don't worry, we'll link up and help as best as we can. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Grenada.
Appreciate. The Big Bad Beast, Raymond Matthew, a former Calypso monarch, still doing his thing in the business. Thank him so much, and thank you for tuning into Good Morning Grenada. We're going to join the BBC for the continuation of their newscast. I'm going to give you more of what I usually give you because I know we missed the 8 o'clock on the dot, but you're going to get some BBC. There's still some news on the BBC happening as we speak. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. It's a rainy day. It's slippery on the outside. Continue to be careful and cautious on the nation's roads. Enjoy the rest of your day. Going to leave you with a song that 3 people on the WhatsApp has been asking for in the background. Bye, people.